Welcome to Fables and Fantasy. Thank you for joining us for another session zero of both character and world introductions. I'm here today with Atash,
That's me.
another member of the party who is here to introduce himself.
The
So,
best member of the party, of course.
so Atash, go ahead and describe your character. What does he look like?
Atash started off as a human. He, he's got that generic sort of human look that you see in lots of fantasy. He's got pale, white skin, stands at a height of 5'8", weighs about 195 pounds, and he is 23 years old with black hair. His eyes are the only discrepancy that, human eyes usually don't glow. But his are a glowing green, and in certain conditions they become solid black. Um, yeah, so he started off as a human, but through various accidents, such as being born a human, into a world where humans are either food or property, he was experimented on and came into contact with some very not so nice scientists that I don't really know how other to phrase it than experimented on him. I don't. It's a very blanket term there. We talk about his origins. He came into contact with this creature while he was being experimented on. It was another test subject of the scientists, some kind of parasitic organism, and in he'd been waiting for a long time for his moment to escape from them, from these scientists, and in the moment when it was just the perfect time, he decided to also cause mayhem by releasing all of these things that the scientists had been experimenting on, and one of them was that parasite. And rather than just go ballistic like wild animals and run around like the other ones did, the parasite actually attacked Atash and combined itself with his brain. So Atash is essentially a human who's turned into some sort of like parasite emperor kind of thing. Um,
It's a pretty good description. Any sort of detail you want to go into about what how that has affected your character?
um, well, after escaping from the scientist, he lived his life on the streets. So I chose the charlatan background for him. He learned to pick pockets really well, be really sneaky. But again, because of the nature of his origin, this is entirely a homebrew character. We did do testing for it to make sure that it wasn't too uh, completely broken.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't want to break the game, so he balances out his parasitic abilities using something similar to sorcery points to expend them, or he expends these points to use his abilities. So once he's out of points, he's basically just a regular human with whatever abilities that he left on and hasn't taken off yet. The only discrepancy being that he has the ability, his sort of main ability is to create these smaller parasites, which he can put inside of people's brains, and through rigorous amounts of wisdom saving throws, can hijack one creature at a time. He can hijack their brain and basically control them like a puppet, which is what you see happening during a lot of the session with his current owner, I should say. He pretends to be a slave so that people don't pay too much attention to him, because humans are, like I said, that well, they're extremely rare in this world. They're like a rare resource. So if he were to just go around with his hood off, looking like a regular human, then that would attract way too much unwanted attention. He's from the dark domain, yeah, which is the place where all of the monstrous races are, like minotaurs and things like that. Um, you
Specifically, those of dark origin.
yes, he was brought there by the scientists and was experimented on in that area. After escaping, what helped him with his criminal upbringing was he joined this group of people. He was never really given a lot of information about them. Mostly they just keep him around to. I think they're just keeping an eye on him. But yeah, he just works for a criminal organization in the dark domain as a an enforcer along with Isurin. Yeah, they're currently on which continent was it?
Tram province.
Yes, we're there. um, in order
That place.
in order to do something, I'm pretty sure he's just following Isurin. His ultimate goal is to find and kill those scientists that experimented on him, specifically using his parasites to kill them, just as a way to sort of stick it to him. He comes with a lot of abilities. My inspiration for him was I joined the Discord call with our DM here, and they mentioned making characters for the campaign, and it took me about 20 seconds before I had this character laid out. Hadn't thought of it before then. But I immediately went, I just want to play a kind of variant xenomorph. That's what I want. So that's essentially what he is. A lot more poison based, but he does have, acid blood. When he activates this ability that surrounds his body in a carapace armor, it makes him look sort of like a shorter kind of xenomorph because he's only 5'8". But it's got like his face smooths out with the black shell. He's got the big mouth. So yeah, whenever I talk about like the claw mutation or the tail mutation, the imagery that I'm using there is the xenomorph as the base.
Were you just thinking
Uh,
like ideal character xenomorph type, or was there something that you've been like reading or
well,
watching that kind of inspired you? You're like, yo, that'd be cool.
actually, I had just watched a like right before joining the call, I had just finished watching a modded Among Us video where they had put the alien queen as a playable imposter, and you can like lay eggs inside of people and turn them into xenomorph people, like other people that will go around. And yeah, it's just a modded Among Us video, and I was like, yeah, I want to do that. That sounds
That'd
like a
be
good
cool.
idea.
I
Yeah,
want to experience that.
yeah. He sort of grew, his own sort of characteristics over time as we worked through creating him. Yeah. For feats and things that I chose, languages and such, he can speak Common, Infernal, and Draconic. Infernal because of the things that they were experimenting on down there. A lot of them spoke Infernal, and also the parasite as well, sort of helped give him that language. Like it enhanced his language comprehension while he was there when he had it. I chose the poisoner background from I think it was Tasha's Cauldron of Everything because his that way he can vial up his poison that he secretes from his like claws, tail, and teeth, which has all kinds of fun uses and things. It's not just like a generic damaging poison. So it can have some fun effects, and he can also bottle up his blood as well, considering it's a potent acid. And I also chose the mobile feat. So he can dash on difficult terrain and he does not provoke opportunity attacks, which is, pretty handy. Considering that his strength is 9, and he is proficient in 0 weapons and 0 armor, so he can't really use weapons or armor. So it's all just dexterity, claws, teeth. The only things he owns are his disguise kit, his clothes that he has on his back, some colored liquid, the basic stuff from the Charleston background. And as for the he has a luck stone just in case anyone calls into question. Oh, why was he able to do that? He gets a +1 for all of his skills. So even if he's not proficient in a skill, if he like he's not proficient in medicine or whatever, if he rolls medicine, he can still add a +1. And the ever smoking bottle, which is very fun, just instant smoke screen. Pretty handy if you have thermal vision because nobody else but you can see. So, yeah. Lots of fun ways to use his abilities, different combinations. I'm excited for combat. Are you not excited for combat?
I was just thinking of our first combat.
Yeah, we're filming these after a couple sessions, and
You'll see. You'll
yeah,
see.
a campaign's first combat is important, they say, and well,
Oh, yeah. This is kind of important.
oh man.
All right, awesome. Any other information you would like to give the audience?
Lowest score to highest score. Lowest score is strength at a 9. Highest score is constitution at a 20. So he is a beefy boy. I should put it out there. Speed is 40 feet, and his armor class is 13. Just I know that some people who watch like to know that because they're like, oh, is that going to hit him? You know, and then they have, at least in the case of podcasts I listen to, I have some of their stats memorized so that I can, like, I don't know, it's more immersive that way. So
That anticipation, like, crap, does it hit? Does it hit?
yeah. But yeah, I really like this character because it's the first time I've played a character without any kind of magic. So yeah, it's like he literally has no capability to detect magic. He understands magic, but like if someone shoots a spell at him, he's like, "Well, I guess I'll die." No kind of counter spell or magical resistances, nothing. He is immune to acid though, which is very handy in case we ever find some large vats of acid that he can just kind of swim in. I don't know, just show off.
Just flex on the group.
Oh man.
I can totally see him doing that and just looking back at them and smirk and then just keep going.
Also resistant to poison. Now the way that he'd probably do it is he'd fall in and then like thrash around screaming as he slowly sinks into the acid just to freak everybody out. He's very
Yep.
much a trickster.
Yep. Even better.
That's he also has a null stone, just in case anyone was wondering. No one was wondering. Stop talking. Oh, the number. I need to explain what the number is. 7590. That was his serial designation while he was in captivity being experimented on. Experiment number 7590. So you could call the little parasites he makes 7590-A.
Oh my gosh.
If you want to get scientific about it.
We're being technical here.
But yeah, that's all I got.
Oh, since names are important to me, does Atash have a meaning? And what made you want to name him that?
I actually let Isarin pick his name, so you might want to ask Isarin if it has a meaning. Atash himself was born as a human into this cycle of humans are bred and sold kind of thing. So he was born, sold to scientists, and given a number, not a name. So when he escaped and joined Isarin, Isarin was the one who gave him a name.
Almost inseparable, those two. Or three.
Or 3, depending on the way you look at it. Maybe 4. It could be 4 sometimes.
Oh, true.
Little baby -A.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you for doing this interview with me tonight.
Yeah.
And for our audience, thank you for joining us as well. Hope you enjoyed this video, and we hope to see you through session 1 and all the sessions thereafter. And
Indeed.
thank you so much, and have a good night.
Goodbye.